some flags waving here in the distance. Palestinian supporters, honk for Palestine. Right. So, this is a question I get asked from people quite often, and it's something I've wanted to cover. Are things better now, or were things better then? And it really depends on what you mean by then, because we were all born at different times. There's people who watch this channel who are older than me, going back into the 1930s, and your childhood memories will probably be different to mine. I think I've picked the wrong lane here. I think these are going to turn right. I think because I do nostalgic type videos of what places were like back in my childhood compared to what they're like now, that I'm a person who would have an opinion on it. It's a little bit difficult really, because it's not as cut and dried as was it better back then, because it's probably a mix that some things are better now and some things were better 50 years ago, and it's all opinion driven really, and opinions differ from one person to another. So I'm driving down Smithtown Road because this is where I was born and where I lived for the first 3 years in Home Street, which we're coming up to on the left hand side, around about, countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Home Street. So I lived here until I was 3, and then we packed up and moved out to Walton. I still kind of feel at home being here, which is probably weird, but it was always my way into town. Whether we got the bus, the number 5, it came up here, and later when I was driving, it's the most direct route in my opinion anyway. But I still kind of feel an affinity for the place, even though it's an area which has changed dramatically over the years. So we're going to drive a triangular route, Smithtown Road, and turn left into Lodge Lane, and then head back to where those Palestinian supporters were in a triangle. Lodge Lane has changed over the years as well from when I was a kid. And not just that, buildings have disappeared, changed names, new buildings have taken the place of old ones. All that's happened, but the demographic of people have changed around here as well, because when I was a kid, this was very much a white working class area, and now it's not. You can see by the names on some of these shops that they serve different races, different people live here than they used to in the 1950s and 60s when I was a kid. And it's probably changed even more if you were here before that. I think a lot of things today are better than they were back in the 60s when I was growing up. I mean, for one thing, we're doing this. I'm able to drive around in a car, talk to a tiny camera, and you can watch it anywhere in the world. And that would be something that would have been science fiction back in the 1960s. So we can all communicate, and you can talk to people in different countries. A lot of people get in touch with me from the United States. We chat in real time basically, and it's something that would have been a dream when I was a kid. But I've been into technology for a long time. I've spent a huge chunk of my life in photography, making images, changing images. So I'm not a technophobe in any way. I really like technology, but I think my generation is seen as a generation that can't cope with modern day, which is really strange because a lot of the things that people use to say this online were actually invented by people who are around about my age. Boomers get a bad name, and people say this on their iPhones, which was something that was invented by a boomer. So this is going to be an introduction into something that I want to make a few videos about, of were things better back then, and if so, what were they, and are some things better today, and if so, what were they? I think there's been a lot of changes since I started making these videos in 2019. I think 2020 changed a lot of people's opinions on what is actually happening in this world, and we will all have different opinions on that, which is fine, I guess, because that's how you get to the bottom of things. If we all agree on everything, it's not necessarily the right route. Rightio, we are roughly back to where we started this video, at the gates of Palestine here. So if you've got any comments about what we're talking about today, then please put them in the comment section below, and I'll have a read of them. On the next video we will try and explore how we got here, and I don't mean by car and driving, I mean how did we get here in terms of the way the world works today. Rightio, we'll catch up soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to stop here.